have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas, and we have wonderful guests. And I have a wonderful guest for us today. But before we get started, I must show you a little infomercial out of necessity to help support the program. I wished I didn't have to do that sort of thing, but I do. So if you bear with me for 1 minute, I will put, this is a little 5-minute informational thing on the SuperPatch, which is taking the health and wellness arena by storm. So hang on 1 minute.
On average, it covers about 21 square feet, bigger than a typical door frame. It comprises 15% of your body weight and contains 11 miles of blood vessels. I'm talking about the biggest organ in the human body, your skin. And now, the SuperPatch company is unlocking the superpowers of human skin. Your skin protects you from invaders like germs, helps you regulate your body temperature, and allows you to feel tactile sensations like hot, cold, rough, and soft. In fact, the Nobel Prize was awarded to a couple of doctors who unlocked the secrets of our body's sense of touch and temperature. Imagine you have a tiny team of workers inside your body. When your skin experiences something hot or cold, or something touches your skin, these workers send messages to your brain telling you what's happening. They're called ion channels, and these sensors are the key to a new cutting-edge technology utilized by the SuperPatch company. This elegant and effective technology has gone through clinical studies, and the amazing results have been published in peer-reviewed science journals. And their benefits are game-changing. For example, let's talk about pain. The Freedom SuperPatch focuses on pain management. Users of the patch reported a 72% reduction in pain within minutes, and the relief lasts for 24 hours. Here's how this amazing technology works. It's well known that our minds regulate our physiology. The autonomic nervous system and other neural networks, much like computer programs in our mind, control every aspect of our physical lives, from our heart and breathing rates to sleep and pain. But these networks can become dysfunctional or damaged due to factors like illness, stress, injury, or the environment. And when your neural networks stop working optimally, it can affect every aspect of your health. So to utilize these neural pathways, those ion channels, the SuperPatch company has been developing skin stimulation technology for more than 12 years. It's called Haptic Vibrotactile Trigger Technology, or VTT. Each super patch contains very fine ridges that stimulate receptors in your skin. Think of them as braille for the brain. And the unique patterns of these ridges help reboot a specific neural program. When these ridges touch the skin, the stimulation starts instantly correcting those neural programs, essentially rewiring your brain. We're talking about life-changing benefits. For example, more than 50 million Americans have sleep disorders. And according to the National Institute of Health, insufficient sleep is estimated to have a negative annual impact on the US economy of more than $400 billion. Studies have shown that people who wear the REM super patch for 2 weeks fall asleep 48% faster and get almost 25% more sleep at night. Every year, more than 36 million falls are reported among older Americans, and studies show that balance is the most reliable biomarker for longevity. In other words, if you have good balance and stability, the more likely you are to live longer. Studies on the Liberty Super Patch reveal that it can improve balance and stability by more than 30%. This is all done without drugs, electronic stimulation, or therapies. Most importantly, the patches are safe and easy to use. 100% drug and chemical free. No ingredients or supplements, and there are no contraindications or side effects. It's great to be active. It's even better to be proactive. The Super Patch, backed by research, proven by science.
All right, I was almost muted there. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. Very informative, very advanced technology. It's the only company like that, and the link is in the description, and I hope you try it. It's probably one of the less expensive forms of therapy, you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, out there, because you can get a small number. So without further ado, let me bring on Ryan James, and we're going to talk about astrology. Welcome, Ryan.
Hey, Gail.
How
Thanks
are you
for having me. Doing great, doing great. Just preparing myself to see where this goes, and excited to talk about everything.
Well, I thought I would bring up the fact that everybody knows we've been lied to about just about everything, if not everything. And so I figured, well, what about astrology? And perhaps you could give us some insight in that area. I know that you've studied it.
Yeah, so I think everyone's, familiar with astrology, and you've heard things your whole life about it, and kind of wondering what this is, if it's something you just believe in, or, if it's just make believe, like what is this whole thing about? So for those that have felt really, really drawn to it, I feel like there is a reason in the long term, so of course we are shifting timelines and perspectives of pretty much everything in this world, and it's kind of up to us, I feel, to transmute the age and get accurate with where we are, because we're in a gigantic clock, with many, many hands and many different ways of measuring, this whole journey that we're on. So the zodiac is, we hear about like 26,000 years it takes for the sun to travel around the entire wheel. And there's just a lot of deception around it. And people have taken the disinformation and put it out there. And so the evidence is that people don't get it. They're confused. It doesn't fully resonate, and I feel like everything should make sense. And we actually could teach this to like elementary school age, children.
There's so many things that we could have started learning at a very young age, and we'd be really good at it now.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, most of what we've taught has been lies, or some form of a lie, or some form of deception without the full story. Now, I know that I was, I kind of had a surface level interest in astrology. If I was going to work with somebody, I frequently would look up their sun sign, and because I thought there was something to the different characteristics. But then you have someone like myself who was told that you're born on the cusp, where you go, am I this or am I that? Or am I this or am I that? I think I'm some of this and I think I'm a little of that. So I don't know if this any of this means a whole lot. And then, from a religious standpoint, they're pretty much against it. But yet the elites use it all the time.
They use it for everything. And it's real time, which we call sidereal time or sidereal astrology. But we have observatories viewing the sky from all over the world in real time. And then we have apps such as Stellarium, which I'd highly recommend downloading for free. It's stellarium.org, which is Stellarium, STELLARIUM.org. And you're going to be able to view the sky. There's a couple of tutorials on YouTube just to get to learn how to work it. But hopefully we will look at Stellarium a lot during our conversations, and I'll show you how to navigate. It's pretty simple, but you can plug in any date, any location. It's going to give you an accurate view of the sky, whether it's your birthday, Elvis Presley's birthday. So it's kind of like you have to be adaptable, I feel, to change from what you believe hardcore about, yourself, your identity with this whole thing with the zodiac.
Well, they say some of what's going to be one of the hardest things for people during this transition is being willing and able to unlearn and relearn things as much as possible, because that's where we're at. If we want to turn around the deception and bring truth forward, which will increase the frequency of the planet, we have to be open to that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
100%. And ultimately it's to know yourself. And I feel like this is what this is all about, is, kind of as above, so below. And if we're given disinformation, if it's not accurate, and they're just telling us where the sun was on this particular date, you're already programmed to think, oh, aren't we in Capricorn? Aren't we in Aquarius? And then, it's all confused. But we can see where it is right now, right this very moment, where the sun is. And that means we're in the energy of those constellations. And we're going to learn as much as we can about every constellation, the elements, the alchemy, the whole thing is just beautiful design, honestly. And, we're just going to have a whole new perspective, I feel.
Is Stellarium spelled STELLARIUM?
Correct.
.org? Okay, I'll put that in there we go.
So we're going from disinformation to something that you can see visually and study, that has been studied through the ages. And I feel like it's going to resonate with a lot of people in a way that nothing ever has before. And it should. You should be able to have the tools to see if this is correct, what we're, this information that is being shared. But it's an ongoing study. It's a lifelong study, but we can decode this reality if we can read the symbols and we know what the colors mean. Like they have that inverted rainbow flag. That is satanic inversion that programs our subconscious mind with an inverted symbol. So
we got a lot of that going on, don't
kind
we?
of flipping all of this back to where it's in alignment and it's accurate, and we know what it means. We know what we're looking at. We know what the colors mean, the color spectrum, and the planets also line up with the chakras. So if you want to start,
I've got a quick question up there for you, or a comment. It's Lenny says she thought Siderial Astro focused on the moon sign and ascendant rather than the sun. I don't know anything about that. This is not my wheelhouse. So
okay,
can you answer that?
So we have Western astrology, which is practiced in the West. It's more solar, like sun based. In the East side of the world, they're more into the lunar astrology. So if you look up Chinese astrology, they'll give you like your moon sign. So we include like India over there. So if you get a Vedic reading, it's going to talk a lot about the lunar stuff. But the thing is, they use sidereal time to get their readings. So it's more accurate. So if you get a Vedic reading, it's going to tell you most likely the correct sun sign based on sidereal time. Western astrology is not doing. Actually, you can look up your sidereal stuff on any of these websites.
What does that mean? I mean, that's kind of a new concept. Yeah. Some people might not know what sidereal was. Well, how could you explain that?
So it's the tracking of the whole zodiac wheel, the equinoxes, the stars, versus just the sun.
Ah, okay.
So they say that the sun moves into, say, Leo. What is it, July 21st?
Around then.
If we just took that date, it doesn't mean that that's where the sun is. So sidereal is like, it's like 23 to 24 degrees different. So the zodiac's 360 degrees around. And it's just a different way. It's just real time. Like, I don't want to overcomplicate it because I'm just trying to simplify it. Like, it's real time sky reading. So basically we could have a whole new calendar. We could have new months, which kind of sounds like a moon thing, but they would just be where the sun is at this very moment.
Is that where the 28-day calendar would come in?
So that's more lunar based, in which I don't know when the moon came in here, but it's more, like 28 days, 13 months.
Yeah.
Would be like 360 days, I think. And so I feel like we used to be on that sort of system at one point in time. And now we're supposed to be on this solar system, which is why the Western is so, such in focus right now. But it's still inaccurate. It's still off, with where things.
How is it inaccurate? Is it so the different sun signs, so to speak, are not correctly placed, or they're off a few days or a few weeks, or what is it?
So the sun has moved. The sun moves. So say like 500 years ago, the sun would have been in this part of the constellation. Now it's moved over here. So if we're given an old chart, like 1,000 years ago, everything would have been like the sun would have been in a different place. So we're just kind of catching up with where the sun actually is right now. And so there's different dates to when the sun is in that constellation. And also the constellations are different sizes. So it's not just 30 degrees, 30, 30, 30, 30. It's more like 35, 24, you know, they're different sizes for each constellation. So it's a whole different zodiac wheel that, you know, people are probably putting together right now with different dates and trying to get this information out as to where we are in time and what age we're actually living in. So everyone's saying, you know, we're in the age of Aquarius. We're in the age of Aquarius. How do you know what age we're in? How do you know? What is, like, I didn't know before how to tell what age we're in. And you look at the world and it's changing, it's transforming. What is the age of Aquarius about? What does that mean? Does that mean we completed the whole zodiac? That's what it means. We come back to the very beginning, and that's where it started, was Aquarius. And a lot of biblical, you know, scripture will describe this, but we don't know how to read like alchemy of what it's saying and describing. So it's kind of all there. It's kind of all in front of us, and it makes sense. But if this is the age of Aquarius, that would be a sad thing, because it doesn't line up with the age of Aquarius. So I feel like we're in the cusp of moving out of the Piscean age.
Mm-hmm.
And the way to tell where we are is on the spring equinox, where the sun actually is. And we can use Stellarium for that. So it's every year on like March 21st where the sun is. It's clearly on the tail end of Pisces. And so that really matters for where the kingdom that has all the power on the earth is for that constellation, and who has kind of control. So what is the Piscean age about? It's water, it's Jupiterian, it's ruled by Jupiter. And the Vatican has had the throne during this age, and it's been religion, and that's very Jupiter, and that's like Jehovah and Jove and all this stuff, and Zeus. And, you know, look at people, they're programmed religiously with beliefs.
Right.
And that's what this age is about. It's about beliefs instead of knowing. When we get to Aquarius, we're going to know, you know, the veils.
Do you think there's going to be a jump in consciousness? Is that
huge
when we move in?
So, okay, chakra wise in our bodies, we're in the second chakra. We're in the sacral chakra down here, which is what Jupiter is connected to. Mars is the root.
Okay.
And then we go up from there. We have the sun as our solar plexus. The moon is also, it's kind of this duality that we're living in. It's kind of the underworld. So we're living under the sun, the moon, Jupiter's feminine side, Jupiter's masculine side, and then you have Mars energy a lot. So I never do this symbol normally, but this is your Jupiter finger. This is your Mars finger. So they kind of do this a lot. You see the politicians doing this.
Yeah.
So
that means something?
It does. And this means something too.
What does it mean? Tell me.
Well, it depends on who's doing it. Like when Trump says, you know, these people, like, you know, these type of people are in our government, like they're part of this like fire and ice war, like just endless war And it has to do with the lower chakras. It's the underworld. It's Mars. It's these past ages have all teamed up to go to war with the creator, the creation, us, from ascending. So we're talking the Piscean age. We're talking Aries, which, you know, was right before this last age, a couple thousand years ago. And that's that root chakra. It's masculine fire. It's Ahura Mazda, Persia, Iran, Iraq. That's where the kingdom was during that age, right? And then it shifts, and now it's European, located in like Italy, and the crown. So, and that's a water element for this age that we're in. And we talk about maritime law, admiralty law. That whole thing is connected to the age that we're living in right now. So it just goes back in time. And the age before that was Taurus, which took place in Egypt. And that's like Africa. So that's where the kingdom was during that time. So the zodiac wheel is like our entire history. And the kingdoms and the powers move around the planet to where that's going to be lined up with, you know, the whole
Is
sky.
that how we're at the end of the Kali Yuga cycle?
Kali Yuga.
And moving into...
You know, it's almost like this whole cycle has been, you know, Kali Yuga. I don't know how long they say that lasts, like
I don't either.
years.
I just thought I'd ask, but
yeah, it's just, you know, we're not there, and it's still a duality, because that is kind of the that's how it works. I mean, once we get back to Aquarius, and it's Aquarius and Capricorn are right next to each other, and they're ruled by the same planet, which is Saturn. And they're the only ones that are right next to each other. And it's the masculine and the feminine. And there's a lot of biblical reference to this about like an age that doesn't end. And with those two together, that's like 4,000 years roughly that we're, you know, moving into, to where the power is definitely going to shift. And it's a crown chakra. So something to do with the Sphinx in Egypt is supposed to kind of activate once we get close enough to the next stage. And we're going to jump from our sacral chakra, which is desire, empire, expansion. It's very physical. It's good. It's bad. It's filling your, you know, it's eating a lot. It's making your belly big, you know. And they've attacked that. I feel people, you know, everyone's got a big gut, you know. Not everyone, but we're going to jump up back to the crown chakra once we get through this. So we're trying to raise our vibration and prepare for that jump, that leap. And then we're going to do it all. And it has to do with the pineal gland and the crown chakra kind of activating.
It seems kind of difficult to do when you look at the like vibrational scale of consciousness and the different frequencies. Like I was looking at one of those just recently, and I was surprised to find out that peace, which we don't have now, because all they keep trying to make war, just like you said. But peace is the highest, next to enlightenment, vibrational frequency. I mean, I thought love was the highest, actually, but it's not. It's actually peace. But maybe you need to have love first in order to get to the peace. I'm not sure about that, but anyway. And that's why they like war. That's why they want to keep our frequency low, so that we can't make that jump to the crown chakra.
Exactly. And so this is kind of like exposing their game. The more of us that are aware of this, that look at this, like watch the skies. Watch the skies, learn how to read it, know what you're looking at. We live in this system, and a lot of it's based on the number 7. So we have 7 days of the week. We go Sunday with the sun, Monday with the moon, Tuesday is Mars, Wednesday is Mercury, Thursday is Jupiter, Friday is Venus, and Saturday is Saturn. So, and then we have Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So there's really like 10 things to watch, and they all represent something that's inside of us and kind of outside of us. But there's disinformation everywhere. So if you look on Google, if you use Google as a search engine, you're going to get disinformation. They're going to tell you that, you know, different planets rule different constellations, and, you know, it's just all different. So I don't even deal with it anymore. It just is.
What search engine do you is there one that you recommend?
I don't know how much, you know, you're going to get through any of them, but I like Brave. You know, I like using Brave.
Oh, Brave. Yeah, I got that one too. Yeah.
You got to find the people that know, and that's us to give this information, but it resonates in a way that nothing ever could before. And, you know, the new age has really come in. New age. What's a new age? What is an age? It's a constellation. It's an age. It's a world also. So they say end of the world. Yeah, we've been through the end of the world many times, because world means age. So they've been trying to tell us we're in the Aquarian age. We're in this wonderful time, and, you know, it's Aquarius and karma and all this stuff is coming, and it is, but it's not here yet, even though things are going to happen. Like, things are, you know, doesn't mean that justice can't be served and on the political realm and stuff like that. But the new age has come in to scatter us all around and give us disinformation about where we are, who we are.
Oh, they love keeping us confused and distracted from whatever they don't want us to see or know about, where some of the justice is coming through and that kind of thing. They're trying to keep that as hidden as they possibly can. But,
and that would be exactly what happens right before the end. You know, you've ran this huge race, this marathon. Right before the end, there's this circus of distractions and jokers and clowns, you know, just trying to get you distracted, trying to get us off track. But we have the tools to see it, and we know who has power right now and why. There'd be no Pope Francis in the Aquarian age. There's not going to be 2 presidents. You know, the Jupiterian Piscean age is supposed to be about cleansing and purifying and healing and stuff, and there is a lot of that going on.
Boy, do we need that? Yeah.
Yeah. So is
there a period where it kind of meshes and then it finally crosses over, or is that?
I think we're in it. I think we're in the meshing, the cusp, and we can see that by looking up. So
what are we looking up for? What are we supposed to see up there? Just out of when you say that, so people know.
Do you want to bring up Stellarium?
Sure. Yeah.
I can do a share on that. Okay, you see that okay?
Yes, let me bring it on.
Okay.
Wow, okay. Huh.
So this is Stellarium. You can see all the different constellations. You got this, all these buttons down here to change things. So I can turn the landscape off. I can turn the sun off as far as being bright. put the names of the constellations on down here so you can kind of mess with this and get used to it. But it's got the date and down in the bottom right. So we're on November 10th. And then you can put in a location. I think it's up here in the left. So this is what we're looking at. This is what's going on all around us. And again, it connects with all these, chakras and what's happening inside of us, depending on where the planets are and what constellation they're in. So right now we see the sun is actually in Libra. And that started on Halloween, believe it or not. So, and I think there's, I have theories about why that is. The sun is actually debilitated when it's in Libra. So it's kind of in its weakest spot. So I think they kind of like celebrate that or take advantage of that. But it's actually a really good time. It's a masculine air sign. And I've been connecting with, just all the bros and the friends out there. And I feel this wonderful kind of divine masculine energy all around. And it's, it's a kind of a short constellation. It's only like 23 days. So again, they're not all 30 degrees, which would mean 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the 360 degrees around. That would be, cut it into 12 pieces, but they're different size pieces.
Well, then what's this talk about the divine feminine coming back? Have you heard?
I've heard that for a long time. I think it's, everything's being balanced out. So the divine feminine has been, I don't know. So I've heard people call it like a weapon. I don't know if it has to do with the moon and the sun or what, but they kind of want to put us back on like a lunar calendar, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't even know if we're going to need all these weird calendars. Like, this is all you need, really. And if you can read it, that's my goal, is to get people to do your own study. And I'll give you some good, connections and stuff along the way to start. And I'm sure a lot of people already are on this path, because there's sidereal astrologers out there that sometimes they use like the 13 sign system. And I just don't subscribe to that either, because that's like, that's this guy up here. That's a Ophiuchus.
That's who?
A Fucus or a Ophiuchus. And he's like, this is Scorpio down here.
Okay.
So he's up here. He's kind of the upper house of Scorpio. And they're trying to kind of add it in so that there's 13 signs, but I've already
okay, I get it. Yeah. Okay.
I've already had my 13 deal, and it's all about the 12. So we don't need to screw it up even more. So anyway, there are people that are accurately looking at the sky and talking about what's going on and lining it up with different events. Like, 9/11, there had to be a certain arrangement in the sky right at that moment. And so these elite people, they have occultists that have been telling them what to do and when to do it based on this whole system around, like this belt, the zodiac belt going around us. So I know it's a lot of info. It just try to keep it as simple as possible. Mm-hmm. And get to know this and see what's happening inside of you in your life, your relationships, your own personal, design is mapped out up here. And so the first thing to do is to put in your own birth date and location and Stellarium and the time. And there's a way to know what your real rising sign is.
Let's look at 11/9/89.
Okay.
Just for kicks and giggles. It's one of my sons.
So I can tell you he's definitely in Libra. And happy birthday to him yesterday. So, you know, I could do a whole reading for him or anybody just based on that information. And then if we get the time and the location, even more information is given. So.
Oh, okay. So then I got another question. I got two people or two sons that were born in October 16th and 18th. Now, would they be Libra or would they be someone else?
Virgo.
Virgo, really?
Because when does Libra starts on Halloween?
Libra starts on Halloween. Okay. Now, that's not the way it looks on most astrology charts. I don't.
Exactly. Yep.
So that's where the okay. So if someone was to go to this stellarium.org, put in their birth date, they would get a true picture of what their sun sign actually is.
Absolutely. And that's like incredibly important. That's your cross. That's the cross you're carrying. So there's 3 crosses up there in the zodiac, and there's 12 signs. So we have the cardinal cross, the fixed cross, and the mutable cross. And they all have air, fire, earth, water. So if you looked up, I could draw a cross and it would connect all those cardinal signs. And then I could draw another cross. It would connect the fixed signs, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio. And then we have another cross, which is the mutable cross that would connect Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius.
So these crosses are actually referring to constellations when we have probably been programmed to see it as the Christ on the cross and the 2
Absolutely.
people with him.
Absolutely. The vision, I'm not sure which prophet, if it was like Ezekiel or John or whatever, but he saw a man at the top, a lion at the bottom, an eagle on one side and a bull on the other. And you've seen that. You've seen images, you've seen different descriptions of what that means. Is it some kind of, what is that? But it's Aquarius. When we get back to Aquarius, we're on the fixed cross. It's stable. It's solid air, fire, earth, water, earth, whatever. But Scorpio was changed into a scorpion, and it used to be an eagle. So that's where your eagle comes in. And Julius Caesar used to say, "Where's my eagle? What happened to my eagle?" So it's all kind of there. We just, and they're telling us, they have visions of where we're going to end up. And we're going to be on a different cross. But right now we're on the mutable cross, which is where the transmutation occurs. It's those mutable, adaptable signs. We're so used to it now because that's the times we're living in. It's kind of a masquerade. It's, you know, everyone's got their ideal version of everything, their life, how it should be. It's kind of an idealistic time. And that has to do with Jupiter and Pisces and stuff. But yeah, we're going to return back to that fixed cross. And it's several hundred years away. But again, we're in the cusp. We're in the cusp of it. So
it's just fascinating that has a astrological meaning to it when we have been misdirected to consider it a crucifixion of 3 people, Christ included. So, and who would have guessed? That's news to me.
So say that again. I want to hear that, what you just said again.
Well, that the three crosses that we see on the hill,
Yeah.
everybody from a religious standpoint, they think it's Christ to other guys that were hung on a cross
The thieves.
when,
Yeah.
the thieves, whatever they were. Anyway, the fact is that was a misdirect based on what you're telling me.
Just misinterpretation of what it really means and what they have been saying all along. Mystery schools used to be giving this information to adepts only. It wasn't for the public, and that would include biblical stuff too. It wasn't meant to be released because they don't know how to read it. You have to be taught what those words mean. So language is involved. Back to Babylon when they split the tongues and all these different languages, but it's really
the Tower of Babel.
Yeah. So they scattered the information all over the world, and also not to mention the Vatican. I want to say like the Crusades. They would go around and gather native people's star knowledge and confiscate it, so that, I don't know, we're lost in time, I guess, but it's that important. They want to control time. They want to start their new world order. What's a world age? New age order?
They've already been trying to change history, which apparently they've done quite a number of so-called resets in the past, when they pretty much eliminate the people or most of them, and they change the history to satisfy whatever agenda they're moving into. It's very diabolical, for sure. Certainly is the suppression of humanity for eons, and I'm really praying for divine intervention.
Well, we're here to participate in that, and I feel make corrections to all this so that we're not confused and lost in this whole thing. We have a beautiful map, and this clock, they can't stop it. They can't stop time. And why would they come out with a new world order plan in the age of Aquarius? It makes no sense. That's karma. That's crown chakra. Everybody's going to know. Everybody's going to see, including the animals. And who knows? The multiverse.
I heard that this is different, but I heard from a friend of mine that what was it? It was either 4,000 or 6,000 years ago. They used to talk to them. They used to talk to us, and so I'd be very happy to go back to that time. That would be fun.
So here's a tip. So I'm on March 21st, 2023. And it's technically at noon when we would look up and see what age we're living in. What age are we living in? Here's Aquarius over here, right?
Yeah.
Here's where the sun is right on that day. And
so we're not to Aquarius yet.
Pisces.
Yeah.
So
where's Pisces?
Right here.
Okay.
Here's Aries over here. Here's Taurus. So that's where the sun was during that age. It was moving through this constellation. And then we had to go through Aries, which was a lot of wars and fighting and sexuality, lower chakra stuff, right? We have to go through that. But these kingdoms come and go. They fall, and Rome never fell. It just turned into something else because it's a masquerade. They'll do anything to act like they're in power. They'll put on robes, dress like females, because it's a feminine age. We're in a feminine age, and that's why there's so much weird stuff going on with the genders. But
oh, really? I didn't. So you're saying there's a connection to constellations? That's why that's happening.
Well, yeah, because the age we're living in, it's that's where the power is, you know. The Pope wears white because that's water. Alchemically, white is the color for water, and gold or yellow is fire, and red is actually air. So Aquarius would be red. And this is different than the chakra chart in the light spectrum. And then we have Earth is actually black. So they talk about the black sun, and you're getting this horrible vision, but it really just means the powers that existed during the age of Taurus, or the age of Virgo, or the age of Capricorn. I don't know which one they're talking about, but that's the black sun. Right now, it's like a white sun, but it's duality any way you look at it until we get back home, which is going to be those two ages that are one. And we might go to a whole different zodiac wheel after that. I hope we do, because we complete one and then we go to another one. And that could be a whole different thing. This has kind of been a bunch of animals. It's like the zodiac, you know, zodiac.
Yeah, it's true. Well, what is there a way to, I know we're not supposed to pick dates or anything like that because they never work out, but is there a way to approximate when we'll actually be in the...
Yeah, I mean, just using Stellarium, we can do that. So also I want to note that earthquakes can shift the whole thing forward. And
really?
that would shift our position with the skies. So the Japan earthquake, was that 2012 or 2013? That shifted us like 1 degree forward, I guess. Shifted the Earth off its axis. So I think we took a huge leap then. If it was 1 degree, if it shifted us 1 degree forward, that's like 72 years. So I think we had a big shift back then with that, you know, earthquakes and stuff like that. So it doesn't mean it's going to take that long. And I don't know what kind of earth changes are coming, or if it's even necessary, but
yeah, they keep saying, you know, we hear this all the time now. Nothing can stop what's coming. And I'm going, okay, what's coming?
well,
can we know what's coming?
They can't stop time. So I'm zooming ahead to we're in the year 2311. It still says, actually on this app, it doesn't tell me what constellation we're in, but on my phone it does. But
well, that's weird.
It's like 25 something, I think, is when it starts to say Aquarius.
Oh, that's interesting.
March 21st, you know. But again, we're in the cusp. That's why all this stuff is happening. That's why the war is changing the world. We're sick of look how big this constellation is. It's huge. We've been in this Piscean age for a long ass time. And we're just waking up. We're just peeling off the layers of what they've done and where these people came from. And that's a whole interesting topic. You know, where do these rulers and beings come from to take over the earth for a little amount of time? Like, they all get their turn. But if they don't work with the creator universal law, it's chaos, it's war, it's pain, it's all these terrible...
Well, these guys obviously didn't work with creator.
we're like at the bottom. We're at the abyss.
So that's where it would be nice to have that. Oh, let's see. Here we go. Let's see what Tim Potter has this to say. That God willing bifurcation and a shift to the 5th dimension.
That's what's happening. And you can experience it in your own life. You can apply this knowledge and a lot of other things, and your whole life will change. Your the way you see the world, it makes sense, because we got these monsters coming out from the bottom of the abyss right at the end, and some of them are even born in this constellation. But that's not to say that every Pisces is a monster at all, because that's not how it is. But like Klaus Schwab, he's Pisces, even like, I want to say Nancy Pelosi, but I study this, and maybe people have heard of like the birthday book. We need a new birthday book, and it will be amazing. And it's going to
I've
make
known several Pisces people in my day. That's
so
interesting.
The shift. It's like Elon Musk. Is he a Cancer? Really? No. But his birthday says he is in Western astrology. In Siderial, he's a Gemini. He's the most
that would make a lot of sense, in my opinion.
Gemini, logic,
two-faced,
easygoing. Exactly. It's Gemini is connected with Mercury, and it is a shapeshifter, and it has many names, many faces. Its symbols are everywhere. People are into hermetics and things like that, and you have to ask yourself where that is all coming from, that occult knowledge and wisdom. And they want to be your master, but you say, I see the whole picture now. I'm not going to get caught up right before the end, giving my power to something else, joining a Masonic cult or something, because they're going to give you power right during this time when their whole kingdom is dying and failing, because we're waking up and we've had enough, and so, yeah, it's a passionate thing. It's
This is let's see. Somebody says, indeed, odd how good ET can't intervene, but Enki, the Draco, and all other scumbags felt free to mess with us. So that was supposed to be against universal law that they were able to do that. But then when the tables are turned, they say that they can't take it away because, I see what he's saying. It's kind of annoying because they weren't supposed to mess with us in the first place. So I don't see why they can't be dealt with in spite of the universal law. That's, because there was already intervention that wasn't supposed to occur. But anyway.
Yeah, I feel like this whole system was taken over. And if you get into like Oceana Dean's information, she exposes Metatron, and they took the templates of creation and created their own versions of everything. And they want to be the gods, and they're the fallen Anunnaki, the fallen angels. So Enki is definitely related to, I want to say Mercury. Mercury, Shiva, Thoth, Hermes, Trismegistus, whatever. I've met like an embodiment of this being, and he had a whole community forming and stuff, but it was very Enki related, and wants to be God, wants to be the savior,
Worshipped. Yeah.
Worshipped, absolutely. And that whole system is just shameful that we have to fall down and worship anything. All we have to do is just know that we're loved, and we come from source, and we're beyond them. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, yes, they want to rule over us. They want a slave class. That's and I heard that they even there's a genetic gene that actually is like a worship them gene. I don't know if that's even possible, but I wouldn't doubt it.
No, I wouldn't doubt it. So there's a question, Melissa.
Oh yeah, Melissa's asking, how do we figure our birth sign with this? Are our signs all wrong?
Most of them are. Some people are in like the overlap of when they were born. It didn't change, but it's 23 to 24 degrees off. So if you go to stellarium.org or possibly some other sites, you want to type in Siderial. It has to be Siderial, which is Sidereal.
Sidereal.
Yes, like side, Side, and then
Side
real,
and then real with an E.
Real.
Oh, just AL. Okay.
But I'm trying to get people to download Stellarium, and then you can plug in your birth date, location, and then look at where the sun is.
Is that correct?
Not quite. It's Real on the end.
EAL. I thought that's what you said, and then I thought I put it there, and it's not there. Okay, so ignore that, people. I don't know how, if I can make it go away. I don't think I can. So anyway. Siderial, right? There we go.
It's not exactly Vedic astrology, because Vedic is more lunar based, but they use sidereal time. So if you look up your Vedic reading, most likely it's going to give you the right sun sign. You're like, am I Capricorn? Am I Sagittarius? You know, but just keep looking into it. If you use Stellarium, it's going to show you exactly what sign you are, where the sun is. All the planets are going to be in different places slightly. And the more we learn about it with the chakras and what it means to have Venus in Taurus or Mercury is in Virgo, what that means, how we can harness the strengths of that, you know, or just understand that, you know, for a part of your life, that combination, the alchemy of it is kind of your experience with that part of you, but it changes every 30 years, because Saturn goes around, takes 30 years. And when it gets back to where it was, like around your birth date, everything's in a different place. So then you have your second Saturn return. When you're around age 60, everything's in a different place. So you can see the first like 30 years of your life in that arrangement, and Saturn does its thing. Everything's in a different place. So it's not the same, except Saturn and the sun aren't going to change really where they are.
Okay, somebody mentioned that I'm the spider according to 28-day cycles and the 13 astrological signs, which we don't know if that's going to, is that what Vedic uses? No. Yes.
I've never heard of a spider being part of the system, but there's a lot of different cultures that they have different constellations up there. But I really think it shouldn't really matter. But you know, you can subscribe to that if you like. Hopefully it's accurate, but it's kind of hard to verify.
This is what's her name? Carriot. It says, yes, Siderial. I'm a Pisces in Western tropical astrology, and I'm an Aries, and it doesn't mix. Yep. Well, I have the same thing, because you told me that I would be, you know, I'm supposed to be, they say I'm a Virgo. I never felt like a Virgo. Not really. And actually a Leo. And there was only one, it was Linda Goodman was the only one that said that I was Leo, and I felt more Leo oriented than Virgo. So that's interesting that is more fitting, and for me anyway.
Yeah, and it resonates in a whole different way. Everyone, you know, their personality. To me, Virgo has a lot going on, but they're mutable, changeable. Like it's every day is not going to have this order that kind of the fixed signs like to have. Like, you know, it's really interesting.
So Leo's a fixed sign, yes. Fire sign, correct? Mm-hmm. So when does the changeover actually occur between Virgo and Leo?
September 17th, I believe.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Mhm. So I kind of got these new dates plugged in my head,
Uh-huh.
but we can look at Stellarium and see when it tells you goes from Leo to Virgo. It'll tell you.
Wow,
So
interesting.
like Pisces and Aries, totally different, but Pisces is mutable. So anything you tell somebody that's mutable, they're kind of like ready to adapt to it, you know? Like Aries, I'm fire, I'm impulsive, right? And it's like, no, I'm more mutable. I'm maybe more feminine, you know? I thought I was supposed to be this masculine fire sign. And I've seen Pisces that are really Pisces, Siderial, think they're Aries. And they try and really take that on. And Aries are different. I've met Aries that are really Aries, and some are really calm, some are really peaceful, but they're very like childlike, and they have radiant, energy because it's a cardinal sign. And cardinal signs they call the Most High. So there's cardinal fire, cardinal water, Cancer, cardinal earth, Capricorn, and cardinal air, which we're in right now, Libra. So they're pretty powerful. Whatever cardinal sign you are, we're all powerful. But
So if we're in Libra right now, what are the kinds of things that we can expect? That's a heavy duty word, but
so it's the scales.
the scale, yeah.
Who's in court right now? Balance. Everything's being weighed. So if you look at Egyptian, it's the goddess Mayat, and it's weighing the hearts, and the heart has to be lighter than a feather. So it's funny because Mercury is moving up the scales, and Mercury moves really fast. It's Quicksilver. And then we have Mars that's going up the scales, and of course the sun is going across too. So it's an air sign. It's heart chakra, because Libra is the masculine Venus energy. Taurus is the feminine Venus energy. So it's cardinal over here, it's fixed over here. I work retail, and people are buying candles like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, really?
Smells, breath work, you can really like take advantage of it. And I'm noticing the masculine energy is really good right now. Like males are really connecting in this wonderful way. And I just see it come out. As soon as it changes over, I see people, like, whether you know this stuff or not, it's still happening. Before Libra, before Halloween, was Virgo. And that's commerce. That's Mercury, commerce. It's throat chakra. Great time to do business, make sales, do deals. Our numbers are like through the roof because people are shopping. And you can have that kind of small talk, So if you're Virgo or Gemini, you're good for like any sort of commerce type. They're just really good at articulating information on a certain level, but it might be a little disconnected from the heart, might be a little disconnected from the crown. And that's where communication is just, it's dualistic, it's a double-edged sword, but it's just really interesting. I observe these things in real time with the constellations, and it's wonderful, honestly, because you can see it all around you, and how it affects people, and
Well, so Tim made a comment, the legal system in the West is in the toilet. It's being shown, though, too,
yes,
how unjust it really is. And what's happening to Trump has been happening to like the black population, the Hispanic population, low-income white population, all the time. They've been dealing with this kind of thing, the injustice that Trump is experiencing right now, because that system is capable of doing that to anybody, is what it's telling us.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't like something about you or what you do, it's easy for them to go after you.
And they're talking about the two-tier justice system right now. Elections take place when? November 4th for president. It's in Libra, rightly so. And it's there for a reason, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think elections used to be in March, and like March 4th, that would be in Aquarius. And
Mm-hmm.
that's actually a pretty wonderful thing if you think about it. But it's like this wonderful time of the year to really feel your, you know, spiritual higher self. And you look at the world, it's in this wonderful stability, you know, usually in these like fixed signs, like the solid signs, Leo, Taurus, because that's eventually where we're going to go. So you might find an amazing relationship during Taurus season, and save it for later, you know, because that's heaven on earth. You know, we're making those connections, and then we have to get to this next age. And it was just a little chunk of time that we felt this like more long-term sort of connection happen. But, you know, it's interesting to apply it.
Yeah.
Like,
Tim says too, they persecute the good guys and protect the wicked, and that's exactly what's been going on. Oh, what was it? Somebody else just asked, what was the search engine? It's in the chat. It's stellarium.org.
well, the search engine might be Brave.
Oh, that search engine. Okay, yeah,
That's what you meant.
I thought she meant Brave is a browser, and they have a search engine that goes with that particular browser, and it's supposed to be private.
So I want to show you just a couple pictures, if I could, Gail.
Yeah.
Just mentioning the search engines. And let me know if you can see that. Do you see that?
No, I don't see anything yet.
Okay. Should I do a screen share then?
Yeah, you better do it. Yeah.
Let's see. Let me bring this up. Just not quite sure which window it was that I have pulled up on my computer. I don't know if it's here. Maybe it's oh, here we go.
Okay, Joanne, if you meant that Siderial, how do you say that?
Yeah, Siderial.
Siderial.
Siderial kind of flows.
Okay, here's the
okay, so Native American medicine wheel. This is what you're going to find on Google, probably Brave or anywhere. The colors are mismatched, and apparently even the native peoples still use this. And again, back to when the Crusades and the, you know, taking people's star knowledge and twisting their information. This is kind of a result of that, but this has a lot of meaning. So this is where the colors are incorrect. The black and the white are next to each other, and the red and the yellow. So that's like the earth is black, water is white, red is air, and then yellow is fire. So I'm going to show you a correction of this. Let me get the proper picture pulled up here. or we're just kind of getting used to this.
You
But
probably have to share a second time. It won't let you go from one share directly into another. You have to close one off and bring the other one on.
okay.
I saw it for a minute. It was there.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the corrected Native American medicine wheel. So you see air at the top. I could turn this wheel. I actually kind of wanted the white on top. If I can't do that, no big deal. Let's see. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, you did. It switched.
Okay, so this is incredibly important. So we're in Pisces, and that means the water, we're on the top of the wheel right now, because that's where, Europe and all those powers are, taking advantage of this wheel. If I turn it to the right, with the red on top, yellow on bottom, the black and the white are side by side. Right now it's the red and the yellow. That's going to be the Aquarian age.
It'll look like this right here, right now.
So we'll turn the wheel. That's what it's going to look like as far as this goes. But the white powers, I don't even say that as a skin color at all. It's elements. It's all about the elements. Is going to shift, and I believe it's South America where the next kind of kingdom or home base is going to be, where the power is going to be located, centralized. And that's why all the elites are trying to move to South America and
that's where
Ecuador and stuff, because they know where the next empire. It's not going to be an empire, because that's all Jupiter.
Yeah.
So it's the next place, and I think it's where this whole 26,000 year journey began. It would have been Aquarius, and then it was the age of Capricorn, which you can see coming up. It's that the black color. Capricorn's an earth sign, and it's North America. So we have South America coming, and then it's going to be one age because it's ruled by the same power, which is Saturn, which people have demonized, and I just don't care, like say it's a cube or whatever, but show me some I don't even want to get into that, but this is what's coming. And you see the yellow, which is Asia, and it's the fire element. So one way or another, they're going down, and that's nature. That's natural. I hope it's not terrible, but they are not, it's not being reversed. It's not like yellow is going to be on top. The last time the fire was on top was the age of Aries, right? Persia, Iran, and then we went to Europe, the Vatican, where we are now, and they dictate what they think the world should be. Once we get to Aquarius, it's here, and then it's Capricorn, and then it's Sagittarius. So I don't know if we're going to go around this whole zodiac again. I think, who knows? Some people might. Some groups of people might be totally bound to it, and they'll never get off of this wheel. We want to go to a different wheel, but we want to experience like heaven on earth before that, which is heaven, air sign, spirit, Aquarius, earth, Capricorn. He created the heavens and then the earth. That's kind of telling you right at the beginning. Here's the heavens, Aquarius. Here's the earth, part of this whole creation process, you know. And then it went to Sagittarius, which is kind of like the lake of fire, because it's a mutable sign, which kind of means liquid. So it's like liquid fire, the lake of fire. And then this would be after Sagittarius, which is Scorpio. It's a water sign. And then this would be the next air sign, Libra, you know. So it all matches up. We could put different charts and just stack them on each other. But if you have the incorrect Native American medicine wheel, then you just have to make up what it means. But this is really what it's lined up with the zodiac belt. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, that's quite a lot to swallow here.
I know. And that's why it's a long-term, we're all in this. We should be learning this in elementary school, and we're just putting the puzzle back together. And
that's happening in so many different areas.
Yeah, because the knowledge has been scattered all over the earth. Everyone got a little piece of it. Everyone got a different symbol of, and that's what they call the body of Osiris, apparently. But yeah, it's all going to come back together. And
one last thing here on Tim said the pride flag is a demonic inversion of the chakras, lust at top, Christ consciousness at the bottom.
Exactly.
And you said that in the beginning, I believe. So
yeah,
it's not that way, is it?
Yeah. So with the red on top, that's Mars. That's like your root chakra on top. They did a lot of fire sacrifice, Baal worship, Baal worship, whatever in that age.
Mm-hmm.
And they still want to be in power. Like I've heard and I said before, those past ages have combined. So we got the bankers, the money changers, money out of thin air,
mm-hmm.
from Gemini, from the age of Gemini. That was after the flood. They redid the Garden of Eden. That had to do with Enki and all that. So we have the bankers to deal with. The next stage was Taurus. We have the pharaohs, the ones that want to enslave us. They take their monatomic gold, whatever. They want to split the class. So they want to go back to Egypt. They want to go back to that. So we have all those characters are still here, you know, Obama and people like that. They want to be the pharaohs again. And then we
ain't having it.
and then we have Aries. We have the Aries people, which is Iran. And look at what Iran is doing right now. You know, they want to bring Sharia law back.
Yeah.
We're not going back. We're not going back in time.
That is the most evil thing ever, the treatment of women in those countries. I mean, I can't believe it. And you see, there was a comedian who was talking about when he went to, I think he went to Iran, and there was, you know, in the audience, there was a group of men on one side, and then there was a group of women on the other side, but they were all covered up totally. It was like looking at nothing. I mean, a bunch of black dress and all you could see was eyes. I mean, how horrible to make somebody live like that.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about the feminine coming back, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and Christ consciousness, which is our crown, you know. And don't let them steal your crown. Don't let them steal your crown before we go home. And so they've all teamed up, these lower gods or whatever. And also right now we're dealing with the popes, the black pope, the white pope. Of course, there has to be 2 or 3 popes. There's never just one. And the colors matter, you know. They dress up like a fish.
I know.
To look like the gods that came from the waters, came from other planets, came from, and, you know, I don't think it's a big solar system with a big sun in the middle. I think we're in this like fixed location and all this is going on around us. And then we have exterior continents and stuff all around us that are beyond the ice walls and stuff like that. So just having a whole different model of where we are and
the truth of it all, and it's all been hidden from us.
yeah.
Who knows? It's also been stated that, you know, those continents outside the ice wall is where ETs could be actually coming from, rather than, I mean, we don't know, but it's there's so much that they've lied about. So anyway,
Yeah, that's it's really interesting where they come from, and the Nazis were in Antarctica, and different ways to get on and off the planet, stargates, portals, you know. So
yeah, that's why they have Antarctica as off limits as they do. I think there's a lot going on that we're not privy to, you know. And Tim is saying Albert Pike is now flooding the West with Islam extremists. Anyway,
they're all going for it because there's something coming that, I don't know, it's just going to stop it all, and it's on the way, you know. But everyone's trying to take over the world, take over the universe, and it's just ignorant. It's just so silly that we can't be with the now. Like they say, be in the now, be in the present. What's going on in the sky around us now? It's so all about that, you know. So I just want to add to this, Gail, real quick, if I could. Uranus, the planet Uranus, or whatever that is connected to our collective consciousness. The collective human consciousness is connected to Uranus. Right now, that's in Aries, which means war. We're at war. We're at war with the deep state. We're at war with the pedophiles and anyone that's in violation. But there's also everyone's taking advantage of it. Israel's taking advantage of it. Iran's taking advantage. And that goes till May 23rd that Uranus will be in Aries. But if you know that,
so there'll be a shift after that 23rd. Is that what you're saying? After May 23rd,
it's going to be in Taurus. It's going to be in Taurus, and most likely there's not going to be a new financial system until then, because it just doesn't. It wouldn't be in alignment. It wouldn't be good timing. Humanity's focus is in a different place, and evil or whatever, they're taking full advantage of it. They want World War III right now, and maybe Albert Pike saw that Uranus is going to be in Aries, and people are going to be confused with the New Age, and these three religions are just going to kill each other, you know?
Well, that's what they were originally set up to do, to divide people.
And then we have
done a good job of it.
We have Neptune. Neptune's connected to your imagination, and it's really interesting. And then Pluto is the collective subconscious mind, and Pluto is the slowest. It takes the longest time, but everyone's part of a different generation based on Pluto. So yeah, I'm like the Virgo Pluto generation, and it takes a while to activate to where that generation's active, and that's my generation. So we've kind of been put on the back burner. They want to get all the 20-year-olds with their voices out there, and it's not really their time. They've kind of skipped a lot of us, and so it's really all happening all around us. We're in a gigantic, perfect alchemical circle, and the more you see it, the more the world makes sense. You know that things are temporary. The powers only have power so long. And we're in that.
And they can't stop what's coming.
They cannot stop time. They can hate time. They can try and steal your crown. But, you know, things like fasting and the Tao, which is kind of letting go of these delusions and all the lower desires and physical stuff, you know, we have to stop you know, and let our energy rise up. And then you feel that bliss, that crown chakra, the pineal gland. Like if you ever fast for 3 days or more, or even just a juice fast, like you're in a whole different, because you're not putting food and just stuffing everything down to these lower chakras, which is what they want us to do as much as possible. And it's killing people. It's making them sick. And they're not experiencing the higher chakras, you know. And
well, let's take this one last comment that
okay.
Tim is making, and then we're going to have to go. I got another show later, which I'd like to mention is Jenny Lee, and she might have some interesting predictions. But you can see how they've messed with us in every area you can imagine. So Tim is saying God can change all in the blink of an eye. Many feel that November could be the month. I just don't know until whenever. We must live and endure. Is there any indicators that it could be anything could happen in?
I would just say Trump has no rallies scheduled after 11/11, which is tomorrow, which is General Patton's birthday.
Which was his father, some say. Yeah.
The Q posts and stuff are all lining up. And I saw something that said like EBS like tomorrow. So
I saw that too.
If it is, we're going to be fine. If you feel like you need to go be with family, do it. Bring your food storage, bring your stuff. It's not fear. We've been told about this for a long time, but I feel 2024 is coming soon. It's not going to be the end. When they're talking about 2024, it's January, you know. So I think everything's on track. Everything's on course. It's just your own personal strength and willpower to be ready for it, you know, and not be distracted or anything like that. So we have good sources, and Gail's amazing for doing this. Thank you for having me. Oh, your mic got muted.
Sorry, I did that to myself. But thank you so much for the information that you've shared. I mean, a lot of that information is new to me. I didn't know about those particular websites, and now I know that I'm a Leo and not a Virgo.
Yeah,
So
and
anyway.
I want to make a quick shout out. The YouTube channel, I've learned a lot from. The woman's name's Lavette, Lavette. Her channel's called Lavette. She got kicked off and now she's back on. She was on like Brighteon. She doesn't do interviews. She's an amazing teacher, but if you go to her channel, you'll see a plethora of videos, and she knows alchemy, astrology, reading charts, the whole thing. And I have to definitely give credit to her. She lives in Oklahoma. She's Native American, partially. And so just want to shout out to her for sure.
Okay. And I will be putting your YouTube channel as well as a Purium product, which you carry, which I may eventually carry as well once I catch up with everything that I'm doing, which is a glyphosate-free product or drinks, correct? And I'll put that in the description. And please do look at the products in the description. It is how it is between donations and sales from affiliate links that I can keep this channel going. You have no idea how close I have been coming to having to shut down. But coming last minute, God puts something in somebody's heart and they make a contribution or they buy a product and I make it. So anyway, just remember this is listener supported. I appreciate you all and thank you so much. I couldn't do it without you. And thank you again, Ryan. This was very informative. And we'll see you again later today. So I gotta go. Okay.
Bye, everyone. I hope we do it again. See you.
We will. Okay, thank you.
it's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are, and like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers, stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now, don't look back now. Rise up, stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, finding our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize the moment. Hold on tight and don't let go of all your hopes and dreams that light the way. We control our fate. Destiny awaits. We are all the actors in the stories we create. Hope will be our guide. We'll no longer hide. When we roll like thunder, feel the wonder from inside. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show